Welcome back to the Perfect Season podcast. Obviously, it's me, Antonio, and you got Alex back in his natural habitat of FSU. And your poster's crooked, so it bothers me.
No, I think it's the webcam. I don't think it's the poster.
Anywho, but that's not what we're here for. We're here for something different, not the NFL. We're gonna switch this episode up and talk about college football. Yes, college football starts this Saturday, but the main games start next week. And today we're going over all the Florida teams and what we predict about their records and who we like, who we don't like, and just like that.
Okay, so what Anthony means by Florida teams, obviously we can't go into every single Florida team, mainly because of time, and I couldn't tell you anything about teams like FAU, FIU. So we're gonna do Miami, FSU, UF, UCF, and for Anthony, we're doing USF. So I mean, it's pretty much what ACC one SEC team in the AAC. So
Back.
be a nice short video. We won't go too far in depth with it. If you guys want an in-depth video, then we can make one afterwards. But this is just sort of like a brief overview. Just give the record, give a couple of reasons as to why we think the record is there, and then move on to the next team. So, you know what, Anthony? Let's just knock it down right now. Let's hear you.
Put the nail in the hatchet.
Let's just
put the nail in the hatchet.
Let's put this first nail down. Let's hear
All
USF.
right. You got me going strong. USF's my team, my territory now. We both hate Florida. We both hate that school from Oviedo.
Well, that's more you than anything else, but
yes, but we both have a hatred for them. Now, USF haven't had good seasons these past couple of years. Yeah, Jeff Scott's first year was COVID year, and then you had his last year was his first real year as a head coach. You went 2-10. Yes, I know you went 2-10. You had a losing record. Everyone wants to fire the head coach. But give him his time. The third year is the make or break year. Give him this third year. He's going to turn a lot of heads. I know it affects the players, but you got the IPF. You got the IPF. They're making progress on USF. You got the indoor practice facility. You're going to get an on-campus stadium. You got great players. You got one of the arguably best quarterbacks in the AAC, Jerry Bonahan Jr., from Baylor, transferred over to USF. One of the best kick returners, too, by Brian Batty. And then you got Aju, a former receiver from Clemson, which I'm also a Clemson fan, so woo. But, I could go a list full of this team, but I'm not because, we have other teams to cover. But honestly, USF, I expect a much more improved season because the last couple of games last year, they improved. Yeah, we lost, but they improved they had showed signs of improvement on the side of the ball, defense and offense.
Okay.
And I know everyone's saying, oh, it's his third year and they're still going to be terrible. And they went 2-10 last year. Everyone's saying 3-9, 4-8. Or 5-7. I'm taking a hot shot. 8-4. 8-4. They're gonna go bowl eligible. We're going
so hot it burns lava.
We're going to upset BYU.
Nope.
We're going to upset BYU.
Nope.
I'm calling it.
Nope.
BYU, Howard.
Yes,
and then you
yes
either
to Howard, not to BYU.
Yes to Howard, the Bison.
But
and then you got Louisville and Florida.
Loss.
Or win-loss.
Loss.
Not in any order, but we could beat Florida, lose to Louisville, or vice versa. And then you go into your conference. I honestly do think 8-4 is reasonable.
So I don't know how you think 8-4 is reasonable after they just came off of a 2-10 season last year. When you look at USF in terms of the wide scope of things, yes, they had a pretty okay committing class. this past year, yes, they got in a couple players from the transfer portal. Yes,
I'm
but
telling I'm telling you. I'm
but
telling you.
but here's the thing.
There's
I
always the
think
but though, Alex. Why can't you just leave it off at the good part?
no, because that's the most important thing. I can't leave it off on the butt because then people are going to be thinking that I think USF is actually going to be bowl eligible. I don't think USF is going to be bowl eligible. I don't think they're going to have a winning season. They just came off
You
of
told me 5. You told me 5-7.
yeah. I
I'll take
said
5 and
maybe. I said
I'll take
maybe
I'll
five
take
and
I'll
seven.
take 5-7
Mm-hmm.
or 6-6 at the worst, but at the best, 8-4.
At the best, 5-7. At the worst, 3-9. Yes, USF improved. Do I think that they're going to do better this season and compared to last season? Absolutely. They have, I don't even want to say that they have a tough schedule. They have 2 games against currently ranked opponents, BYU and Houston. They play against 2 ACC teams, being Georgia Tech and Louisville. I think they will lose to Louisville. I think they will beat Georgia Tech just because Georgia Tech, I don't really have a whole lot of faith in.
We don't play Georgia Tech.
You don't play Georgia Tech? Who's the other ACC team?
Louisville
And
BYU.
that's not an ACC team.
We don't play Georgia Tech.
I thought you guys played Georgia Tech. Is it just Louisville?
Yeah, it's just Louisville. I'll pull up the schedule right now.
Okay, well, if it's no, don't worry about that. Well, if it's just Louisville, then I still think it's a loss. Actually, you know what? I take it back. Currently, you guys are going up against 3 ranked opponents, being BYU at 25, Houston at 24, and then wherever they put Cincinnati at. I have no idea where they put Cincinnati. So that's 3.
Cincy is 23.
So 23, 24,
Cincy
25.
dropped.
Well,
They dropped desperately.
well,
But
they're an AAC team, which is understandable as to why they were dropped as far. I don't think they deserve to fall that far, but I can understand why they did that. Like I said, Anthony, you guys just had a 2-10 season. Yes, there's major room of improvement. Yes, you guys are going to do better. But here's the thing. I said when we talked earlier, I said 4-8, or I'm sorry, I said 4-7 leading into the final game, or as you call it, the war on I-4 against UCF. Now, the thing is with rivalry games is they can go either way. Look at Alabama Auburn as the Iron Bowl. You have FSU UM. I mean, there's stuff like that. You never know what's going to happen.
You got Clemson, Carolina, the Palmetto Bowl.
Exactly.
Carolina's little brother.
But yes, that's the game that you can't really predict because last season UCF went bowl eligible. USF did not, and the game was, remind me, 17-14,
14,
but 3-point difference.
And we can talk that game. We could talk that game forever. I could talk that game forever.
I bet you could, but for the sake of time,
because USF, but time management. Yes, I know. We can't talk it because time management.
Because time management. Thank you.
But if we had the time, another day,
we can go into.
I will make my case why USF should have won.
But unfortunately, as the box score reads, the final score was 17-14.
Was it me or did I also lose to Florida? Both of our teams lost to Florida.
Yeah, both. FSU was closer though.
You know what, Alex? Let's talk about Florida State.
Okay, it's fine.
Since you wanted to take shots at me for wanting to go to USF.
I will give you.
Since we wanted to go to USF first.
Okay, go for it. FSU, what do you think their record's going to be?
FSU. AAC.
No,
ACC. My bad.
Go.
It's confusing. You know, you got the ACC and then you got ACC.
Which one's more recognizable?
What do you mean recognizable?
Which one do you think is going to be the one that is not mixed up with often? Which one do you think is the more prestigious conference? Yes, thank you. Okay.
You know what? When USF moves to the ACC or whatever,
they won't.
They will.
No.
When Clemson's probably going to move to the SEC.
That's a horrible decision for them.
But anyhow, FSU. They've been one of those mediocre teams, and they've been mediocre. You got, I think, last year, the game that really struck y'all the most was losing to Jackson State.
Yeah, that was embarrassing. Jacksonville State
That,
University was a bad loss.
but I'm looking up right now because I can't remember. I don't remember your record
We went
last
5-7,
year. 5-7.
5-7.
It's a make or break year for Mike Norvell.
I would say
Make
yes,
it.
definitely. My thing is this: FSU's had a lot of issues with head coaching since Jimbo Fisher left.
Yeah.
Mike Norvell is going into his third year on a 4-year contract. FSU cannot afford to fire a coach and then continue to pay his contract, so they're probably going to employ him in this fourth season, regardless of how he does.
It's a make or break year.
But yes, I would
but
agree.
There's a lot of the only way I'll say Norvell needs a contract extension is if you go 500 or above.
I'd say bowl eligibility would definitely result in a
I
fourth
say
year.
500 or above.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's had a winning season.
Not with FSU. I know he was coached somewhere. He was coaching somewhere else, but not at FSU yet.
I think it was from Memphis.
I think it was Memphis.
Memphis is one of those teams that's hit or miss.
Yes. So if you could give
But
FSU a
FSU
prediction,
I'm gonna say 6-6. I'm gonna say leave it at 500.
Okay.
And you lose to Clemson.
Well, that's a given. That's already.
We'll be at that game.
Yes.
We'll be at that game. If you want to stop by, say hi.
Here's my thing
with 6-6. 6-6.
That's
you
that's
did
fair.
lose. You did lose Mackenzie Milton. He did retire from football.
Yeah, as mean as it sounds, I love Mackenzie Milton, but he was not really a huge. He wasn't.
I wasn't never when he was in that school from Oviedo. Never a fan of him. Never a fan.
Mm-hmm.
Just because rivalry school, but I like his story.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a fan of his player personality, just never the school.
You're a fan of the player, not the school. Okay.
Yeah.
So your official prediction is 6-6 is what you said.
I'm gonna say 6-6.
Okay. So
it just depends how y'all do with offensive line, quarterback. I don't even know who your quarterback is.
Jordan Travis, third year. He's definitely improved a lot in the past 2 years, I will say.
All right. So there's always room for improvement.
Of course. My thing with Jordan Travis is this. Jordan Travis, he's a dual threat quarterback. He's not a mobile quarterback, dual threat. So definitely an improvement. We did not lose a whole bunch of players to the draft, which is good. We were able to fare pretty decently in the transfer portal. We got a new offensive lineman. The main person we lost was Jermaine Johnson to the Jets at the end of the first round.
Yeah.
But you know what? Here's my thing with FSU. They're going to play against Duquesne on Saturday. That's a win. You have games. You have a lot of big games this year. There's still the regular ones like Louisville, Boston College, the Miami game, Clemson, etc., etc., etc. However, I have my eye on FSU this year. I say they're going to go 7-5. 2 games better than what they did last year. Definitely going to make the bowl. Has shown lots of flashes since their loss at Jacksonville State. Thank God. But yeah, I say 7-5. All right, Anthony. There's 3 teams left. Which one you want to go to next?
I want to get that school from Oviedo out of the way.
All right. Let's talk about UCF and try to use as little
slander,
disgustingly worded phrases as possible, because I know you have a lot of words for that.
Disgustingly. Can I start off with one thing? They're not national champions.
Yes, we know.
They're not state champions.
Well,
they self-proclaimed. I'd never liked this school. They're not going to be. Let me just tell you. They're going to struggle against South Carolina State. They're going to struggle.
They're going to struggle against South Carolina State
because their quarterback. They just got Timmy McClain in the transfer portal. And you would think if you got Timmy McClain and everything, someone who just came from USF, sorry, but you're going to that school, you would think he'd start a good, true quarterback. But no, Gus had to go and decide, let me start with someone who was a wide receiver at Ole Miss and just transferred to being a quarterback He threw 6 completions last year for like 2 touchdowns on 11 attempts or something like that. It was in one of those rounds. Meanwhile, Jerry Bonahan Jr. from Baylor to go to USF, he's thrown 20 touchdowns, 7 picks, and thrown for 2,000 yards. Who are you taking?
I mean, obviously the guy with the better record or better stats.
Yeah. So I do think they're gonna struggle. They're
You
going
think
to
UCF
struggle.
is going to struggle? Okay.
I think they'll struggle to start the year.
Uh-huh.
I'm not just saying this because I don't like them, but I see 500 or bust.
So you say the ceiling is 6-6 then?
Maybe 7-5.
Okay.
7-5 or 6-6.
You know
I
what?
just see that.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought you were
I
gonna be a
see
lot
them
meaner.
struggling. Like if I was them, I would have started Mikey Keene at quarterback. But no, they started, according to Google, on technical difficulty. They started John Rise Plumlee. They started him over Mikey Keene. John Rise Plumlee, that his stats during his time in no, that's not it. But what I'm trying to say is, I would have started Mikey Keene over John Rise Plumlee.
Okay.
That's just me.
Like I said, you definitely gave them a better record than I thought you would. And here's
I could go totally harsh on them, but
I know you could. I know you could. Here's my thing about UCF and just the AAC in general. I don't watch the AAC enough to really give a groundbreaking, genuine prediction. So my prediction was just kind of based off how they performed over the past couple of years since their perfect season back in 2018 is what I would call it. In the AAC, UCF is not bad. However, I feel that
it's just a conference. It's a conference with mediocre teams.
It's like the minor leagues for the ACC.
Yeah,
that's what I would call it. It's lower. It's. I wouldn't call it
a. And they're moving to the big. They're moving to the Big 12.
Yeah,
which
I feel is that they're going to fail. UCF.
They're going to struggle. They're going to struggle.
Mediocre teams. UCF thrives on mediocre teams. So I
look at their schedule. Like, no wonder back in 2017 they had a perfect year. I don't care, you're perfect, but not nationals champions. Mm-hmm. But you schedule easy teams.
Well, they're also
like if you were to look down the road at them,
they're in a very easy division, and the team and the games that they
but like even
conference,
even non-conference opponents are easy teams.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, USF next year, I know it's next year, but we're gonna lose probably. We have Bama.
100%.
We have Bama. I will be there. Yes, I know we will lose, but I will be there for the experience.
So that's gonna be some experience.
Yeah.
So to my prediction about UCF, I give UCF a 9 out of 3, 9 and 3, because you know what, they thrive against weak, mediocre teams. The AAC certainly has its teams that are below average in terms of overall roster size and everything, and UCF feasts on that. They eat it up. The 3 losses, I could not tell you what games that they were, but I remember 2 of those losses being out of conference. Yeah. All right, Anthony, University of Miami or University of Florida?
Let's go. Let's save the best for last and just go to the school we both don't like. How about that? Let's go to Florida.
All righty, Florida. You want to start or you want me to start?
You know what? I'll start.
Okay.
I'll be that person. I'll start. Mm-hmm. You get a new offense. You get a new head coach. You fired Dan Mullen. You made it to the Gasparilla Bowl last year. Whoop-de-doo. It's the Gasparilla Bowl. It was, what did they do? 7-5?
I think they finished 6-6.
Well, they finished 500. But Billy Napier Billy Napier, he's one of those coaches that it's his first year head coach. First year head coach, so you don't know what to expect. But I think I say this a lot, but I think they're gonna struggle just a little bit. They're gonna struggle a little bit to find their groove at first. And then after maybe like week 4 or week 3, I don't know, you're going to actually play good football and continue to win those games. But games I have circled for Florida, Florida plays Bama. Florida also plays Georgia, which I want your opinion on this actually.
Mm.
I was listening to one of the radio shows I listened to earlier on one of the drives I do for work. You know how Florida and Georgia play in Jacksonville?
Yeah, neutral ground.
What if they did? This is what they said. What if they did 1 year in Florida, 1 year in Athens, 1 year in Georgia? So each year it's somewhere different instead of just in Jacksonville, instead of a neutral site.
Wait. So playing in Gainesville and in Athens?
Gainesville 1 year, Athens the next, and then the next year, Jacksonville.
I don't
Yeah, I
really.
know. I would say Florida Georgia is a bigger rivalry than Florida FSU.
Nah, I'm gonna have to disagree with that. I mean, FSU UF is a bigger rivalry because of the history behind those two teams and the bloodied rival. I don't want to say bloodied. Obviously, it wasn't bloody, but the historic rivalry, I shall say. Yeah, FSU Florida is a better rivalry overall, in my opinion. But here's my thing about University of Florida. A, it's in Gainesville. B, first year head coach. C,
So
quarterback that is a little unpredictable. Anthony Richardson at one point was a first round
he,
draft pick, and I could not tell you what he is now.
I'm gonna say late day 2 pick, early third day pick, or undrafted.
I wouldn't be surprised if it turns into a Felipe Franks where he goes in the 6th or 7th round. That's my thing.
I was reading something late first round,
I don't know.
but from what I saw from him, he is not first or second round eligible.
There's just I'm trying to be as non-biased when I say this, but there's no aspect about Florida that screams dominant at me. Yes, they are. In my opinion, this is one thing about Florida. Do I think that they're still a decent team? Yes, but here's my thing: they play in the hardest division in college football. It's the SEC.
Yeah, the SEC who
They
has
play
Tennessee, Georgia, Bama.
just Georgia and Bama alone
Georgia
accounts.
and Bama are the powerhouse of that whole conference.
Yes, and furthermore, that's why I think UF, and this is going to be their record because it is the SEC. I have UF hitting 6-6 again. I don't see them progressing any further.
I'm gonna agree with you on that because like either 6-6. I had 5-7, 6-6, or 7-5.
Yeah, anything in that range. It's just like they're. It's not that Florida is a bad team. It's just that they have really hard matchups and they really have to prove themselves this year.
Yeah,
Okay. Now let's go ahead and finish on the best football program in Florida, University of Miami.
they're in the ACC
They are in the ACC.
with FSU.
FSU,
My favorite, one of my favorite teams, Clemson,
Georgia Tech, Boston
Georgia
College,
Tech,
Louisville,
Boston.
Syracuse.
Yeah,
Yep, those can go on.
those could go on forever.
UM,
They're
yes.
one of those. They're one of those programs where it's like it's a hit or miss. In my opinion, it's a hit or a miss. Like I'm not as up to date with as you are, Alex,
Yeah, I
since
know.
you are a fan,
Yes.
but goes to FSU.
Literally. Okay.
No, but that would be like me being a USF fan going to like Central.
Yeah, but your hatred for them is a little bit more running. Mine is more of like historic rivalry. Yours is like I hate everybody that goes to UCF.
Yeah, fair point.
So here's my thing about UM. We started off really, really bad last year, going 2-4. God, I couldn't even remember who are. We had two quarterbacks at the time. We had De'Ara King and then Kosi
Do you,
Perry.
you
Um,
remember This is a while ago. You remember Tate Martell?
Of course, I remember Tate Martell. He retired from football as well.
He didn't even get drafted.
No, he didn't. He retired straight out. I remember Tate Martell. I remember when he transferred to I thought he was the next
He
coming
was
of
he was
Jesus
from
or
Ohio
something like that.
State.
Yeah, I thought he was the next coming of Jesus, and he was going to save the program. God, was I wrong? I don't really even remember him playing all that much.
Miami's first 3 games is BCU, Southern Miss, and A&M.
Yeah, Boston.
Their first 4,
Bethune.
they're going to go 3-1. 3-1.
Yeah, they'll lose to Texas A&M. I'm confident in that. That's fine. But
unless something happens where.
Here's my thing about Miami.
Tyler Van Dyke's your starting quarterback,
which is absolutely amazing. Tyler Van Dyke, it would absolutely put on a showcase at the back end of the last season. Once he started playing, after that loss to FSU, the guy did not lose a game for the rest of the season, to my knowledge, if I remember correctly. Tyler Van Dyke, I think, is going to be very, very special for the program. I think he will make the NFL and be a very effective quarterback. This guy is in his 2nd year.
Tyler Van Dyke, Tampa?
No. True freshman.
I mean,
I'm sorry, true sophomore.
That's what Timmy is. Timmy McLean's a true sophomore.
Yeah, but Van Dyke's better.
But yeah, Van Dyke, I would arguably say Van Dyke's better because even though McLean he went 5 touchdowns, 7 picks last year.
Mm-hmm.
He's still better. Van Dyke's better.
Tyler Van Dyke put on
clinic.
God, I couldn't tell you what his stats were, but there were more touchdowns than picks. I think at least 2,000 yards, and he started maybe 6 games and was able to rally. Okay. We went from 2-4. We finished 7-5. So
who started before him?
Nkosi Perry and De'Aaron King.
Oh, okay.
And
didn't De'Aaron King transfer to Houston?
He transferred from Houston to Yeah.
And then he's on the practice squad of the Patriots.
Yes.
So is Bailey Zappa.
He's on the practice squad?
No, he's not practice squad, but they're starting for backup.
Yeah.
Which I still, in our next episode, we will talk about this debate.
What debate?
Well, not debate, but like why the Patriots still took 2 quarterbacks.
I don't even think that's a debate. I think that's weird. But here's
probably just for depth.
This is in my opinion, is the best football program in the state. I don't think that there's any close second. I have going 10-2.
Who do you have them losing to?
Texas A&M, absolutely, and
Clemson.
If they play Clemson, I know that
they do.
They do.
They're in the same division.
Yeah, but they're not in the same. Well, they're in the same conference, but they're not in the same division. So there's like a weird little difference right there.
Clemson. Do you want to talk about Clemson?
No, not really.
This is a Florida we play Miami.
Okay, then yeah, I have them losing to Texas A&M and Clemson, and I have Miami winning all 10 other games.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah, Tyler Van Dyke is unstoppable. The defense is immaculate. We have Mario Cristobal that managed to pull recruits out of thin air.
Yeah, you took him from Clemson.
Mario Cristobal came from Oregon.
Oh, duh. Who am I thinking of Clemson? I know Miami took someone from Clemson.
He took one of your guys' coaches or something. Oh, your GM, your head of football operations. We took from Clemson. I forgot about that. But yeah, Mario Cristobal is breathing new life into the program. Unfortunately, the only downside of Mario Cristobal, he has officially retired the turnover chain, which is a shame.
You're upset.
It's a shame, but you also got some really bad, cheesy knockoffs from around the league. FSU with the turnover backpack. Come on, guys. I mean, at least be more creative.
If you think about, you got to get hype about this. Like, is college football like? Yeah, you just got to pick. And I'm gonna go out with the turnover backpack. Really?
Yeah, I know. It feels like you're gonna go to
school. They have the turnover chair.
It makes you feel like you're gonna be in timeout.
I mean, why? Why retire the turnover chain?
Just new culture, new shift in momentum. Gotta keep them focused.
What are you gonna? Yeah.
There's no turnover or anything now. Now you just play football, and that's the end of it.
Yeah.
So, but that's about it.
That's pretty much covered of all the Florida teams besides FAU and FIU, who are
FIU,
and the Owls and the Panthers.
I don't know if any other program has a football program that's D1 outside of that. So, but anyway, I think that'll do it
Besides
for this episode.
BCU, but they're
Well,
low D1.
Bethune-Cookman is D2.
Um,
But yeah, that'll do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. It was nice to get a non-NFL video out, talking about college.
yeah.
Probably be talking about college more on during the season. Let us
Oh,
know
yeah,
in the
well,
comments what you think the Florida records are going to be. Excuse me. And yeah, I mean, college football starts up on literally Saturday.
2 days.
Thank God, we need some level of football right now that's not preseason. But yeah, thank you guys
Yeah.
so much for watching, and see you guys next time.
Yeah.